Cricket balls are red, baseballs are white, American footballs are brown, and tennis balls are yellow. We don't even think about it really, but the story behind the tennis ball is actually quite interesting and even involves Sir David Attenborough. I know. Well, here's the tale. Tennis is widely known to be a French sport. It dates back to the 12th century when people used handmade balls, and it was then called tennis, which is the verb to hold in French. And people used some pretty wacky material to make the balls with: cork, wool, chalk, animal fur, and even human hair. A few centuries on, Germany got dead into the tennis too, but wanted to make a few modifications to the ball to make it a bit more effective. Around this time, an American chemist had just created something called vulcanized rubber. Out of that, people started developing air-filled rubber balls, which were properly bouncy, but either red or grey in colour. These were manufactured in Melton Mowbray. That's right, the home of the pork pie. One problem, the balls kept on breaking on impacts with the racket. The call of new balls please seemingly coming over every other point. Step forward English lawyer and tennis enthusiast John Moyer Heathcote, who suggested balls be covered in flannel to stop them from degrading. And thus the modern-day tennis ball was born. But these were white or black, so how did they become yellow? Well, in 1967, the controller of BBC Two, one Sir David Attenborough, decided the corporation should show Wimbledon on colour TV. He got his wish and it was wired into people's homes across the country. The only sticking point, the white balls were nearly impossible to see on the screen. So the internet
Unbelievable. You are looking. Can't get over it. You're listening to the record-breaking sports bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, and Jason Cundy. We've got a lot to get through tonight. Alexander Isak saga has taken another twist after he's dropped a bombshell statement this evening. If he was given promises by the club, does Isak have a point? Should you never turn your back on your team? Liverpool fans, you want to know what you think about this? Do you even want Alexander Isak now because of what's gone on? Well as that, Rangers really are the gift that keeps on giving. They got absolutely battered in Champions League tonight. I've just realised, Cundy didn't do
Has anyone seen Andy McCoy?
Sorry, man.
Has anyone seen Andy McCoy?
I got put off by the technician just walking past the camera. Shambles! Right, we're also here. We're going to hear from Haaaaas legend Noel Gallagher. He was on talkSPORT Drive this morning. That's shocking. What's going on? He's our mate now. He's our mate. He's not Goldstein, mate. Get involved in the show, though. Alexander Isak, big talking point. Want to hear from Newcastle fans? Want to hear from Liverpool fans? 03 717 22 3344. Mate.
Hello, matey.
Mate, I got right put off there.
You did.
Unbelievable stuff from the technician. He just waltzed in, changed the cameras with his Louis Vuitton bag on, and just walked right in front of the monitor.
I know, but
as the show started.
These things happen, mate. We're radio, aren't we? Occasionally things kind of go wrong.
Shambles, mate.
Yeah, well.
It's this station. We are.
No, listen, we're on air, mate. It's the most important thing. How are you, all right?
I'm all right, matey.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. Why are you lying,
Why are you
Jay?
bringing it up?
Why are you lying,
Don't
mate?
bring it up, mate. Come on, do me a favour.
Come on, how are you feeling?
I feel a bit unwell. I'm a bit under the weather.
Yeah?
I don't know why.
What's happened?
Don't know. I just feel a little bit unwell, mate. Just struggling a little bit. Just feel a bit sick today.
Do you?
Yeah, just been a bit ropey. I don't know. Just come back from Mykonos and, it's just back to the weather and, I don't know. Back
working with me? Is it me?
Back to the grind.
Is it me?
Back to having to look at you every day.
Is it my fault?
Takes you out. You're draining. It's draining.
You've only been back 2 days.
I know. I'm not well, mate. God, I look unwell, actually. Look. God,
you always look like that, mate. You look well. I think you look good. Best I've seen in a while.
I'm not feeling too well, mate. But we move. No excuses.
Right, okay.
I'm here. And we crack on.
Make sure you don't balls things up. Like Rangers.
Yeah. What about Rangers, by the way?
Oh, my God.
Poor old Rangers. They're 3-0 down after 20 minutes. They were leaving the ground.
Give yourself a mountain to climb. Help yourselves out, for God's sakes.
Club Bruges, though. I mean, Rangers fans will probably want to phone up, and we'll take Rangers fans. I want to hear from you, because Russell Martin's had a bit of a sticky start to the season, right?
Well, when you're Rangers manager, anything other than a win is a disaster, right? Now, there are 2 draws in the league, right? Yeah, that's bordering on disaster. But tonight, if they're going to get in the Champions League, and look, we heard, spoke yesterday, didn't we, about this is a tough game for them. And as it turned out, they're probably out, dropping the Europa League. It might be better for them, might it? Get yourself into a competition, you might be able to win. Not winning the Champions League, are they?
Financially, though, it's all about Champions League.
It's about money.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Come on.
No, I agree with that. Yeah,
but it looks like they're going out. Club Bruges are a good side, to be fair. They're no mugs, so it looks like they're going to be going through. Rangers out. Rangers fans, give us a call, 03 717-223344. But we've got to talk about Alexander Isak. He's come out with an explosive statement on social media regarding his future at St James's Park. Join us now to go through it. talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. All right, Crookie?
Crookie.
Evening, boys.
Right, matey.
Crookie, I see this. I mean, it come out an hour ago. He put it out, obviously, with the PFA Team of the Year situation, and he's done this statement. Oh, mate, he's gone all in here, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, as you say, he's gone nuclear. I mean, this is a real bombshell statement from Alexander Isak. One, I'm told, has caught Newcastle by surprise, that the hierarchy there and the management team didn't know this statement was coming. It is in relation to the fact Alexander Isak was the only member of the PFA Team of the Year who didn't attend the awards in Manchester tonight. He starts the statement by explaining that he didn't feel it would be appropriate under the current circumstances. But really, the last 3 paragraphs are the telling ones as far as his future is concerned. Isak says he's kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. That silence, in Isak's words, has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is that promises were made, and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. Isak finishes this statement by saying, when promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interest of everyone, not just myself. So strong words from Alexander Isak. And when he talks about broken promises and the trust being broken, I don't think he's necessarily alluding to any agreement he had that he could leave Newcastle this summer. I think this goes back to a year ago when he was under the impression from Amanda Staveley, when she was at the football club, that he would be offered a big money new contract, one that would reflect his status. I think is probably one of the 3 best players in the Premier League, along with Erling Haaland and Mo Salah. Amanda Staveley left the football club. Paul Mitchell came in as sporting director, and Isak's claim that contract never materialised, and that's the broken promises he talks about. And I do think it's fanciful for people to assume that Alexander Isak has only been looking for a move away from Newcastle this summer. As I say, I think it goes back at least a year. He obviously wants to join Liverpool. There was talk of Saudi Arabia. He never entertained that. But from a Newcastle perspective, checking in with sources there tonight, this hasn't damaged their resolve to keep him. They do not want to sell Alexander Isak. They've looked for potential replacements. That's why they went all in for Benjamin Šeško before he went to Manchester United. That's why they wanted to sign Hugo Ekitike before Liverpool came in and priced him from under their noses. At the moment, they're in talks with Brentford for Johan Wissa, although that deal, as we've been reporting for the last 24 hours, is looking more and more difficult for Newcastle to do. But if Wissa does come in, he's the replacement for Callum Wilson, not for Alexander Isak. I'm not sure he's going to get the move. And you wonder, if he doesn't, what happens on September the 1st? He's released this statement. The Newcastle fans were singing derogatory songs about him at Aston Villa last week. How does he begin to repair those damaged and fractured relationships?
So the current status is the Amanda Staveley left, and there was Mitchell, you said, that come in. I believe he alluded, this might be quotes. I'll ask you, Crookie, about this. But basically, he's alluded to the fact that we don't need to give a new contract. He's contracted to us long enough. Why would we extend a contract where there's still many years left on it?
Yeah, he's still contracted until the summer of 2028. Really, it's only when players get into the last 2 years of their contract that the clubs start to get a bit worried and start to accelerate talks over a new deal. And it was Paul Mitchell, you're right, who came in and said, look, this is not top of our priority list. Obviously, Newcastle have had to cut their cloth accordingly to stay on the right side of PSR regulations. And Paul Mitchell simply decided, business-wise, it didn't make any sense to give Alexander Isak a pay rise. But obviously, you've been in dressing rooms. If a player was under the impression he was going to get a pay rise and a big new contract, and then that gets taken off the table, it's going to agitate you, isn't it?
But then, this is not just the club now, right? There's been a change of who's in control of that contract.
Well, Paul Mitchell has since left the football club. They haven't appointed a permanent replacement. We were under the impression that Ross Wilson would be leaving Nottingham Forest to go there and oversee the recruitment department. That hasn't happened as of yet. Andy Howe has been sort of the de facto sporting director this summer. He's been the one trying to get the deals done. And in fairness, they have got deals done. They've signed Anthony Elanga for decent money. They've got Malik Chow coming in to bolster the defence. Aaron Ramsdale has joined as well. So it's not like they've been sat on their hands and not trying to improve the team. They made RB Leipzig a really competitive offer for Benjamin Šeško, but ultimately he decided, and I think he was only ever going to join Manchester United. There have been other players they've held conversations with, Brian Mbeumo, who again only wanted to join Manchester United, João Pedro, who was always destined for Chelsea, Liam Delap, I know was really positive after his meeting with Eddie Howe, but again, he wanted ultimately to go to Chelsea. So I do feel a lot of sympathy for the management team there, and I think actually they probably understand to a certain degree where Alexander Isak is coming from, because you do only get one career. This is an opportunity this summer that is presenting itself to join the champions, to join, in Simon Jordan's words, one of the legacy clubs in England, in Liverpool. And it does feel to me like this statement tonight is a sort of last-ditch attempt by Isak to try and force his way out. But as I say, I'm not sure it's going to work.
I mean, I'm going to put it on you here now and ask you, where do you think, when the transfer window closes, where do you think Isak is?
Well, if you'd asked me that question a couple of weeks ago, I would have probably veered towards Liverpool, who are prepared to pay a British record fee. It won't get anywhere near the £150 million that has been touted as Newcastle's asking price. I don't think they'll even get near £130 million, which was one report earlier today that they were lining up a second offer. I think it would be around the £120 million mark. But because Newcastle haven't been able to find a suitable replacement, because they're not currently in active talks with an Isak replacement, I think he'll stay. And I think it'll be really interesting to see how that situation is managed. And, of course, there is another fascinating subplot next Monday, live on talkSPORT, Newcastle against Liverpool.
Wow.
Isn't football amazing?
It is amazing.
Isn't it amazing?
Turns up so many stories.
Wowzers.
Crookie, you're a star, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, Crookie.
Cheers, boys.
All right, there's Alex Crook there. Look, you've heard it here. The statement is out. Want to hear from Newcastle fans, want to hear from Liverpool fans. Are there any Liverpool fans out there now who actually think, you know what, the way you've acted, we don't want you? Give us a call, 03717 22 3344. You are listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, and Jason Cundy. We want to hear from Rangers fans after that shambles from them tonight. Give us a call, 03 717 22 3344. But the big talking point is the bombshell statement from Alexander Isak tonight. He says the relationship can't continue at Newcastle. Let's go to Jamie. He's a Newcastle fan. All right, Jamie?
All right, Jay.
Yeah, how you doing, lads?
I'm all right, Jamie. How you feeling after hearing that? It's all come out now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a lifelong Newcastle fan. Been a fan for 25 years. I think it's outrageous. It's an outrageous statement to lead with. I think making leading comments around the club's handling. That club has been around long before Isak, and it's not there to serve his needs. So I appreciate he's got ambitions. Speak to his agent. He signed a 6-year deal. He's halfway through it. The club hold all the leverage, and I think we haven't even had a reasonable offer yet, which is the big talking point. So. Alexander Isak can want what he wants, but until Liverpool pay up what we think we're owed, we're not going to sell him.
Okay, but if there has been promises made, right, which he's coming out with, behind closed doors, there's obviously been conversations about his future, and they've broken them promises. As a player, personally, you're going to get the You're going to be like, no, I'm not having this. I've stuck around. I've done the business for you. I won you a trophy, helped win you a trophy. He's your best player last season, got you Champions League football, and, I want to move on.
Look, there's a right way to go about it, right? Like, you don't down your tools and disrespect the fans and the people that have paid the money to come and watch you day in, day out. So I appreciate he's got ambitions. What I will say is that, I'm hearing different things in terms of what the club have actually done. So it's one thing for him to come out and say promises have been made. I mean, look, you can spin it any way you like. I mean, I've seen comments around, the player side of things. I've then seen comments around the fact that those agreements don't exist. I think you said the same thing, Jay, right? I think I've seen a couple of different sides of the story from yourself. So, it is what it is. Like, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The club's got to protect its best interests. It's got to protect its investments. And look, make an offer, Liverpool. Like, make a decent offer. Like, if you're going to offer it, 110 million was never going to get him, and they've not done a single thing since. So, the other thing I'll add is that I haven't seen a transfer request come in for Isak, and there's a very good reason for that. It's probably because he'll forfeit a load of bonus as well. So at the moment, all I'm seeing is a player that's paid 120 grand a week, right? Whinge about not getting the move that he wants, downing tools and not playing. And it's super disrespectful to every single fan and everyone else at that club, especially Eddie Howe. I mean, he came to the club, Isak? I don't think he scored 10 goals a season before he came to the club. And quite frankly, it's a middle finger up at the coach and his team. So it's not on.
Do you know what, Jay? I do agree with largely what you're saying there, and it's such a difficult situation. What I would say is that it's one thing holding all the cards, but if you can't play them, you might just have to fold them, because the situation is not going to get any better from this point. And Isak, this is his, you're right, it is inflammatory. He knows what he's doing. He's come out, it's tactical. And for the sake of this conversation, let's assume what he's written in this statement is true, because I can't see him coming out making lies, all right? If he does feel aggrieved, he does feel as though that he has been let down and the club have not been honest with him and that trust has gone, there has to be a point where everyone somehow moves on from this. And I think the worst case scenario right here, right now, is that the transfer window shuts and Isak is still a Newcastle player. I honestly, genuinely feel that's the worst for everyone. Newcastle and Isak, right? No one benefits. No one gains from that. And it's all well and good saying, you're right, he signed a contract, he's duty bound to do that. Yeah. But that doesn't make things better. The best thing for... Go on.
I agree, Cundy. What do you do? Like, you got a couple of different options. If you let him go now, you're showing that the club can be leveraged, right? If we let him go after taking this route and just going about it so incredibly poorly, then the club is going to look bad, right? If we just let him go. Again, it comes back to the point that we've still not had an
I tell you what. Look really good, and keep him. What does that look like for you? What does that future look like for you? I've just said that now. What does the next 3, 4, 5 months until the window opens in January look like for you?
I mean, I think it looks like he'll have to do his job. I mean, look, the player's going to say what he wants now. He's trying to orchestrate a move to another club, but when the window closes, World Cup year, he's going to do what he needs to do.
No, but you're not answering my question, right?
What's your question?
What does it look like for you as a Newcastle? Forget him. You keep going back to Isak. Forget Isak for the time being. What I'm asking you is, what does this cloud look like between now and when January window opens, right? Because I'll tell you now, this is what will happen. You'll keep him. The poison and the toxicity around Newcastle will get worse. And then you can't wait to get rid of him and move on because of how bad it's going to be. That's what it feels like will look like.
I think it's results based. Like it might, we start losing a couple games, then I wouldn't disagree with you. It ain't going to look good, but also I think that we've got to remember is that we've got a very good squad. Like Isak is not the only superstar of an average team. Like that team is made up of world class players. I truly believe that.
Just get rid of him then.
A striker right now.
Just get rid of him. Take the fee. Get rid of him. Move on.
Yeah, but again, give us an offer. Like
110 million.
110 million quid. I mean,
110 million is not going to get. Have you seen some of the players?
Okay, how much do you want for him? How much do you want?
I think 130 at least.
Right, so you're quibbling over 20 million pounds now, right? That's where we're at. 20 million. Okay.
We're talking about value.
No. Is it 20 million that's going to break this deal down? You
bought him for 60.
Yeah, but
you're going to sell him for 110, 115. You're not going to get 130 million quid for him.
I think you'd be surprised. Obviously, we're going to get. We didn't accept 110.
He's burying He's burying your football club, though. That's what he's doing.
I worry.
He's burying your reputation. The way he's treating you, the way he's acting.
His own reputation.
No, he ain't. Because when he leaves, it's all going to be forgotten because he's going to go and bang in goals.
Burying our reputation. That establishment will be around long.
Yeah, of course, and it's a fantastic football club. But what he's doing right now, he's damaging the football club. He's damaging it because he's coming out with all these statements and the way he's acting.
Sorry, have you
making Newcastle look like a mockery?
The words here.
That's just not true.
But it is.
Why, so explain your comments then.
Well, he's damaging.
Why do we look like a mockery?
Because he's damaging the reputation of the football club.
You've not dealt with this well either.
Well, because you haven't dealt with the situation. You've allowed it to happen. Yeah. Other players are going to look at it. You can't sign a player because everyone's looking at going, what's going on with Isak? He's damaging the football club.
What can you do if a player wants to leave? Right?
Sell him.
And he decides to go and
sell him. Get rid of him.
You get a reasonable offer just because someone.
It's 110 million pounds.
Doesn't mean
he's not Maradona.
The first offer.
He's a good player.
Look, mate. I've seen you talk both sides of the aisle. Anyway, I saw you this morning on another broadcast.
But I think you're holding him to ransom. Let him go.
I saw.
Let him go.
Change when it was Kane a couple of years ago, and how those agreements don't exist. It's got to be contractual. So
I've never said that about Harry Kane. Harry Kane was chained to the radiator at Tottenham.
See, the problem
is that your opinions change depending on who it is. Like you saw it.
I've never said that about Harry Kane.
I think that was me.
You saw it from the Tottenham side.
I tell you what it was me. But here's the thing, right? Different players act in different ways. Okay, and Harry Kane, from what we know, and we will never know all the facts but Harry Kane apparently was given promises by Daniel Levy. Harry Kane is a Spurs legend, right? He was the captain of England, the highest goal scorer at Spurs have ever had. He has a status at the club. Isak, believe it or not, is not a Newcastle fan. He doesn't care about his reputation at the club. He doesn't care about Newcastle now. That relationship is broken. It's gone. It's poisonous. It's the worst divorce ever. One of the worst divorces we could see in English football. Cut ties. It's going to hurt.
Away from it's a bad divorce.
Cut ties in. Get rid.
You face the facts.
But again, like you get rid of them. What you get the next big.
I know, but who's going to be an Isak at the club? Isak's.
So if you do that,
hold up.
If you create a narrative where you go.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that football.
But that's your opinion.
No, I don't believe.
My opinion is that you need to be able to.
Yeah, but who else is capable of doing this to Newcastle?
Well,
name them. Name the player. Name the player.
Oh, well.
It ain't Isak.
The only player that I think could do it to us that would create this big would be Bruno, but I don't think he would ever do it.
Well, he might do. He might not. He might do. He might not. I just feel that you're not Manchester United. You're not Liverpool. You are Newcastle.
That's irrelevant.
It isn't irrelevant. I'm afraid.
It is irrelevant, mate.
No,
it is irrelevant.
I just think on this occasion it's not.
Half of his contract left, right? And
keep it. I tell you what, keep him. See how that plays out.
If we keep him, I guarantee you he'll be scoring again.
I guarantee you he don't. I guarantee you he don't. Jane,
lads, I'll make a deal with you.
I'm telling you now, he's done. He's done. He's finished.
If we keep him,
he ain't going to score goals. He don't want to be there, mate. He don't want to be there.
He don't want to be there now because he's trying to orchestrate a move. I'm not saying that he's going to want to play for our football club forever. No one's saying
mate,
that.
do me a favour. How would you even want a player coming back into the team after what he's come out and said?
Jamie,
after the statements he's coming out
it's
with?
been a great call,
from
right?
From a fan point of view, it obviously ain't ideal, but who do you replace him with?
No, Jamie,
name me a striker that you replace him with.
But here's the problem. Newcastle can't get their hands on a striker.
Yeah, we've struggled with strikers.
I know, but why would...
No one's disputing that, but we're hamstrung by a different issue. I agree with you.
So you want to keep a striker there who don't want to be there, hates the football club, down tools, don't want to play, refusing to be
it's poisonous.
But you're going to keep him and hope that he turns up and when the transfer window opens,
and the
transfer window closes, and go, oh, he's back and he's going to score goals and we're all going to love him because he's.
You fans aren't going to welcome him back. You're going to boo him. You're going to hate him. You're going to, it's done. I don't know whether you know how. Look, who knows what the future holds? As Newcastle, if I was a Newcastle fan, I would fear that when the window shuts on the first, that chance to move him on and make good the club and move forward as one, because it's fractured. And this statement here right now, he's doing as much damage as he possibly can. That I don't know how a player comes back from that.
He doesn't come back from that.
I don't know how a player does.
He doesn't come back.
He knows the situation he's in. He knows what he's doing. He's absolutely, totally aware of the time frame that between now and when the window shuts, and he's now just trying to say, do everyone a favour. And as hard as it is to read as a Newcastle fan, I think the time has come to just cut that relationship now.
Yeah, move on. Let him go. You can have your say on this, though. It's a great call from Jamie. I appreciate you phoning in. Keep them coming in, Newcastle fans. Liverpool fans want to hear from you as well. What does the future look like for Alexander Isak? 03717 22 3344. You are listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. We're going to take a look at Eberechi Eze, who looks like he's on his way to Spurs later on in the show, but it's all about Alexander Isak tonight. Bombshell statement he's come out and said. If you are just joining us and you haven't heard what he said or you haven't seen his Instagram, I'll read you the last couple of paragraphs, because that's really what it all boils down to. He basically said that the reality is that promises were made and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interest of everyone, not just myself. We had a really good call with Jamie. He thinks that if he does stay, he'll come back and play and be reintegrated into the team and score goals. I don't think that will be the case. But let's go to Andy. He's a Liverpool fan, right, Andy?
All right, Andy.
Hey, lads, how you doing? You
all right, mate? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm just driving down to London myself, so...
How are you feeling about the Alexander Isak deal, because, look, he wants to join your football club, which is great, but it's getting a little bit messy.
It is getting messy, and obviously, I think, like you said earlier, whether Liverpool fans, whether we still want him with how he's acting, but you've got to look at the bigger picture for us. Although he's acting in that way, it'd be a massive asset for our club. It'd be brilliant. With the struggles we had with Núñez last season, not finishing, I think Isak could just be unbelievable for us. And I think the only benefit for Newcastle out of this is if they sell him now, because if they keep him, he's not going to play. And I know you've said they haven't got a replacement lined up, but if he's not going to play, what's the point in keeping him anyway? You might as well just sell him, get the money now, and then they can look at whether they strengthen in this window or in January themselves.
Well, the thing is, Andy, he is still contracted to them. He is their player, and if he refuses to play, there will be. And the maximum you can find a player is 2 weeks' wages. That's set by the PFA. Now, I don't know whether this is unprecedented, but if a player refuses to play for a month, whether you can find him 2 weeks' wages and 2 weeks' wages, I don't quite know how this looks. But this is not going to get any better. And I agree with you that the player, I believe, should now move on for the best of everyone. And this includes Newcastle. And I don't know how he can get back, because it's one thing saying keep, he's going to come back and play. Newcastle fans, from what I've gathered, they're not going to welcome him back. He got 50-odd thousand fans. The vast majority booing every touch. I don't know how that's going to play out. It just, everywhere I turn, it feels as if there's a disaster just around the corner.
Well, you lads know, you two have played, you've been in change rooms, you'll have been with players who have probably tried to orchestrate moves and stuff, and it's just not going to end well. They might as well just cut their losses. Yeah. Like I say, if he does try and come back, the Newcastle fans are brutal anyway. They're brilliant fans, but, if you offend their club, they turn on you. So, yeah. And rightly so as well. He's not treated the club very well, so he deserves to get that reaction in my eyes.
But you're happy for him to come in at Liverpool. You're not bothered. You'll be like, yeah, lovely, jubbly, thank you. You're not going to be bothered about the way he's acted at all.
It's not ideal, is it? You don't want that type of player behaving like that. But I mean, if he comes in for us for 3 seasons, scores 35 goals, wins his 8 trophies, and then goes to Real Madrid, then he's done what we've brought him in to do.
Andy, let me ask you this now as a Liverpool fan, right? See, Liverpool have come in, and there is nothing wrong with Liverpool have done, because the transfer window was open. Liverpool have done nothing wrong. But I just wonder at this particular point now, whether Liverpool, if they really do want him, another £10 million. I've just said to the previous caller, what's £20 million to ruin your seat? I'm going to say the same to you. What's £10 million in this deal, right? 120 plus add-ons, up to 130. That gets this deal over the line. It gets your player, it gets your man, and it solves the problem. What would you say if we get to the transfer window and for £10 million plus add-ons, you lose this deal? How would that make you feel about your club?
I think the club's been a bit respectful in the way they've been waiting for Newcastle to sort of try and find replacements. I don't think we've been too bad in the way we've gone about it. But like you said, if we bring him in and we win the Premier League or the Champions League or both, the money we're going to get from that is far going to outweigh.
It's £10 million. It's 10 million from this point, and I think that turns the red, and it feels that is enough after what we've been through and the chaos that's ensuing right now. Another £10 million plus add-ons up to 130.
Yeah.
If those add-ons mean you win the Premier League and the Champions League in the next 3 or 4 seasons, then it's worth paying.
Absolutely. Every goal he scores for us is going to be vital. You know, in terms of challenging for the Premier League and the Champions League. Obviously, last year we didn't have a very good Champions League run, really. We ran into PSG, who was just phenomenal. And obviously at the time, Núñez was sort of our main number 9, as an out-and-out number 9, and he's finished.
No, look, he comes in and makes a massive difference, doesn't he? We know that. It's just you got to get. Cundy's right. Pay the money, get it over the line. But let's go to Matt. He's a Newcastle fan. Matt.
All right, Matt.
Hello, boys. How are we doing?
I'm all right, Matty. Yeah, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. I'm sat in a hotel room in Dublin, and I'm just festering and getting more angry.
Why are you in Dublin?
Second, listening to with work. Believe it or not, and this is no word of a lie. With work, working for a company who did exactly what is happening supposedly to Alexander Isak. Came into the job. I was told within 12 months, if everything went okay, I would get a salary increase.
Yeah.
My boss left during that period. New boss came in. Have you got it in writing? No, you haven't. And I want to make 2 points. And the first one is, and Jamie, you even agreed with it before, which annoyed me a little bit. Somebody's promised me something. Really, boys? How old are you? 12. Are we really talking about promises outweighing a 6-year contract that you've signed for? Did you get it written in your contract? No, you didn't. So this promises log is absolutely destroying my
I hear you, I get you, and I get everything has to be in writing these days. I understand that, but sometimes there come Harry Kane did have it, and I felt for Harry Kane in the end, and he did end up getting his move. But Alexander Isak is
scenario. It's becoming embarrassing for everyone involved, and this statement is just added to that embarrassment.
Well, because look, he's adamant. He's adamant that this agreement that they've had or whatever it was behind closed doors.
What agreement though, Jamie?
Well, I don't know.
I had the same agreement with my previous boss. I'm still working for the same company 3 years down the line, sat in a hotel in Dublin, and you just have to get on with it. And this is my second point. That at what point, this statement looks like it's been written by a child, by the way, but at what point did Alex or his advisor genuinely think that the working man in Newcastle would look at this statement and look at it in any other fashion, that what an entitled, arrogant diva this guy is? It's honestly, it's absolutely disgusting. It's got me so hyped and riled.
Right, okay. So what now?
No, I'm
no, but what? But what now?
Has to go.
What?
No,
okay, yeah,
go.
that's the problem, because
he absolutely has to go. I hate saying it. I keep telling myself if he reintegrates, can I see myself celebrating when he scores a goal? And right now, the way I feel, I just think, no, I can't. Don't get me wrong. I'd love him to go anywhere other than another Premier League club. I think that's a bit that doesn't sit well with me. I'd love him to go to Real Madrid or Al Hilal or whoever it is. The Liverpool thing worries me because I think they'll walk the league. I really do.
No, but you're not competing with Liverpool, are you? To fight it out for the league.
But yeah, but Jamie, the issue is what we're trying to bridge a gap. And selling Isak to Liverpool just retracts that whole.
I get it, and it's a kick in the teeth.
You're making the gap bigger.
No, of course, but you can't get away from the fact that Liverpool, and you're Newcastle. Like I totally get it. Yeah, I totally get it.
Until the end of day, nobody's going to be able to challenge.
Well, you're never going to be Liverpool.
Is that what you're saying?
But you're never going to be Liverpool.
Why not? Why not?
Because you're not. Because Liverpool's got the history. Liverpool are a legacy football club.
But Matt,
you're just never going to be that club. And you can be a great club, and you can, do what other clubs have done and try to keep up and catch up. But you're never going to be Liverpool.
We might not be around when that happens, but like the guy said earlier on, this is a short-term thing. The league will go on for many, many years when you
and Liverpool's still going to be bigger than you
aren't here.
And Liverpool's still going to be bigger than you.
You don't know that, Jamie.
No, but I do know that.
You don't know that.
No, but I do know that. Liverpool are one of the biggest clubs in the world.
At this moment in time, they are.
In 100 years' time, they still are.
Anybody else to build a club, No, that's it. So if Newcastle win the Premier League 80 times out the next 100, will Liverpool
But here's
still
the
be a
thing:
better
why
club?
are you arguing what's going to happen in 100 years' time? No, seriously, I know you've lost.
We will never be as big.
No,
a
but
club as
okay,
Liverpool.
okay. Let's just say it for the sake of this conversation before we all die. All right, everyone listening to this. So let's not talk about 3 or 4 generations in time. Let's not talk about the year, I don't know, 25, 20.
But why not though? Because this is another point that comes into it.
Okay.
That we're not being allowed to build a club that can challenge.
That part I agree with, but the reality is, Matt, right here, right now. And I feel for Newcastle. I've said this many times. BSR, as I call it, it's unfortunate because that are the laws and which you are currently restricted to spend money, right? And I feel for you, and I feel because it's. But the truth is, let's deal about the next 20 days or however many days. What date is it today? 10? When we've got 11 days, whatever it might be, right, till the window shuts. Let's talk about the next 11 days.
He's got to go.
Right, let's not talk about the next 1,100 years, correct? Because that conversation can wait. I'm sure talkSPORT will be about. I'm sure Newcastle will be about. I'm sure Liverpool will be about. Let those.
Be around there, though, so I can give Jamie a ring
Here's
back.
a question for you, Cundy. Because I know what Matt's answer is going to be, but is there, because I do feel for Newcastle with the way it's going about, and they are a fantastic football club. They can't spend the money, as you said. Is there a part where they go, you know what, we're going to dig in. We've got 3 years on this man, and we're going to tell the world that we are not selling our best player.
Of course, nothing's off the table. Nothing's off the table.
Is there any way back if they go, listen, we are not selling you. You're staying here. This is the deal. And we're going to put you back in the first team after the transfer window.
I don't think we can say never, ever, ever, 100% guaranteed, right? Because I've seen, you and I have been involved in the game long enough, and I've been sat here at talkSPORT when things like Tevez comes around, and Man City fans phone up when he refused to warm up, right? Phone up the sports bar saying, we don't want him near there. He comes off the bench, scores against Chelsea, and they welcome him back. There's always that chance. I have to say, though, this statement I'm looking at now, I don't remember seeing anything quite like this. And the clock is... We're now talking nearly single figures days for this to happen. And once that window shuts, I don't know where he goes, because he's got to retract that somehow. He's going to have to retract that statement.
Yeah.
And then not only that, the fans have then got to accept the retraction, which I don't think they will. Then they've got to accept him on the pitch. Then he's got to get back in and play to the level he was. I don't know, his head's all over the place. I feel for everyone in this, including Isak, by the way. I do. I have sympathy for him because I can only imagine where his head must be if promises weren't kept. It's just a terrible, unfortunate situation that's not going to be resolved. In my opinion, it might well be, but it won't be resolved until he leaves the club. And I think that's...
He should have signed for Brighton, shouldn't he? That's what you should have done. Sign for Brighton. They'll let you go. They give you the leg up and then you're off. See you later. They're quite happy to do that.
But you know what Brighton did? Brighton have a replacement before this happens.
Yeah, that is very
right.
Good.
Newcastle, they must be looking around thinking, and the fans have got to take this as well. Your club has not had a contingency plan about dealing with what happens with life after Isak. And this is what happens. Everyone knows you got money. You can't spend it. Do what Brighton do. Have a replacement before he leaves the club.
Yeah. All right, have your say. 03717 22 3344. You are listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, and Jason Cundy. We're going to hear from Noel Gallagher, who's been on talkSPORT today. A reminder that talkSPORT have live and exclusive commentary of that huge game between Newcastle and Liverpool on Monday night. Let's get back to your calls, though. Alexander Isak's statement this evening says the relationship can't continue. You can have your say. Let's go to Mohammed. He's a Liverpool fan. All right, Mohammed?
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. We're good. Look, it's obviously a player who wants to come to your football club. Do you want him?
Yeah, definitely. I just want to say two things. Yeah, I did listen to you on Sky Sports. Was it yesterday?
This morning. I was on earlier.
It was this morning.
Yeah.
I agree with it because we said they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing. I don't know which way you're going to look at it. You can try and spin it and say that it's not, but it is. The other thing, the point I wanted to make is about a month ago, Liverpool went up to Newcastle and said, we want Isak and we'll stay off your top target, Ekatike.
Say again?
Didn't they?
They said what?
A month ago, Newcastle were told that Liverpool were interested in Isak.
Yeah.
And will stay off at Ekatike.
Well, yeah, it seemed that was the case, but I don't know.
Yeah, that was the case. That they approached him. It was reported on Sky Sports as well.
Yeah, but everyone wanted Ekatike, didn't they? Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
Liverpool have come in as well, and maybe they thought that the Alexander Isak deal wasn't gonna be able to be done, and it still might not be done. So they had to get someone in.
Right. So Newcastle, first of all, can't blame Liverpool. Right. Number one. Number two.
No one's blaming Liverpool, are they? Who's blaming Liverpool?
Number two, they can't blame Isak. They can't blame Isak because he's your prized possession, and you didn't give him a contract when you were supposed to give him a contract last season. Anyone who knows football knows Isak is a world-class striker, full stop.
You're a Liverpool fan, Mohammed, yeah?
Yeah. And they didn't give him.
I know, but what happened about Trent? What about Trent 2 years forward?
Trent's gone.
No.
Trent's gone for nothing.
I know.
Next to nothing.
I know, but the point,
10 million quid.
I know, the point I'm making is what you're criticising Newcastle for.
Yeah.
Right? Liverpool made a bigger rick.
I'll tell you what. Look,
You did because you allowed a contract. Why didn't you give it? Why did you give Trent a contract? 3 years. Now the hypocrisy of Liverpool fans is quite alarming. Actually,
no.
You need to be told. No, you need to be told. No. You need to be told because the hypocrisy. Well, Liverpool fans phoning us up saying he walked for free. You need to look closer at home. So it's all well and good pointing the finger at Newcastle about saying she gave him a contract.
Tell me what Liverpool mistake.
Well, you didn't give him a contract. You let him run his contract down.
Hold on. Let me answer that now. I'm going to give you an answer to that now. First of all, there's another footballer sitting next to you as well. I'm going to ask both of you. Don't you think Liverpool spoke to Alexander about contracts?
Well, nothing got done. Whose fault's that?
He didn't sign it.
No.
Trent wanted to leave.
Come on.
You've got
3 years.
Jason, you've got to let me speak.
No, you asked me a question.
I've waited 20 minutes.
You asked me a question.
Go on then. What was the question?
Why didn't you give a contract 3 years ago?
Hold on. Let me just. I'll tell you what it was. Right. Klopp was going to go. So listen. Whatever happened, what has happened with Alexander-Arnold? He's gone now.
Yeah.
We've swallowed it.
Yeah.
We've moved on. We bought Frimpong.
Yeah.
You said yourself, you backed us on Sky Sports this morning. You said that Alexander Isak is the same thing as what Wissa's doing. They're not saying Newcastle fans are clear that Pearson and this, that, and the other, and the other guy who comes on outside St James's all the time on Sky Sports saying, "Oh, look, Newcastle, it's happened to us with."
Look, what I said this morning was you got to let the player go. The player don't want to be there. He wants to move on. You got to try and get Wissa. It's the same thing. Brentford are doing the same thing to him, by the way. That's why he's kicked up a massive fuss. Broken promises, and you want to get out of there. It's not nice, and it ain't an ideal situation, but it happens in football all the time.
Can I ask you a question? Because while I've been waiting for you for about 15, 20 minutes, I've been reading this statement again.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, the last two lines are a transfer request.
It's not, because you've got to sign it.
He said in there, the last two lines is that the best thing is for me and for you to move on.
But you got to put it on a document. You got to sign it. That's
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, he wants out. I mean, it's pretty obvious. That the statement's outrageous. He wants out. He wants to go.
Let me just tell you something. He's 25 years old, right?
Yeah.
He's 25 years old. He wasn't even the highest paid player at Newcastle. It's Newcastle's fault. It's not anyone else's fault. They can't flipping run a football club. We're the richest club in the world, is what they were thinking, weren't they?
Yeah, but I don't think it's about the way they run the football club. I
Can't
just
run
think
it.
it's a player that has had his head
They
turned. He wants away from
couldn't
it.
close the door on an old Skoda. They cannot close anything. You've seen it.
All right, Mohammed, listen, mate, I've got a break, so keep your calls coming in. You want to have your say on this? Newcastle fans, get involved. 03 717 22 33 44.
Cricket balls are red, baseballs are white, American footballs are brown, and tennis balls are yellow. We don't even think about it really, but the story behind the tennis ball is actually quite interesting and even involves Sir David Attenborough. I know. Well, here's the tale. Tennis is widely known to be a French sport. It dates back to the 12th century when people used handmade balls, and it was then called tennis, which is the verb to hold in French. And people used some pretty wacky material to make the balls with: cork, wool, chalk, animal fur, and even human hair. A few centuries on, Germany got dead into the tennis too, but wanted to make a few modifications to the ball to make it a bit more effective. Around this time, an American chemist had just created something called vulcanized rubber. Out of that, people started developing air-filled rubber balls, which were properly bouncy, but either red or grey in colour. These were manufactured in Melton Mowbray. That's right, the home of the pork pie. One problem, the balls kept on breaking on impacts with the racket. The call of "new balls please" seemingly coming over every other point. Step forward English lawyer and tennis enthusiast John Moyer Heathcote, who suggested balls be covered in flannel to stop them from degrading. And thus the modern-day tennis ball was born. But these were white or black, so how did they become yellow? Well, in 1967, the controller of BBC Two, one Sir David Attenborough, decided the corporation should show Wimbledon on colour TV. He got his wish, and it was wide into people's homes across the country. The only sticking point, the white balls were nearly impossible to see on the screen. So the International Tennis Federation, sensing an opportunity, started developing a new ball that would be visible even without the need for 4K LED displays. Not that anyone had that in the late 60s. After rigorous testing, they came up with the colour optic yellow and decided every ball be coated in that colour from there on in. And there you have it. Tennis balls are yellow, all because Sir David Attenborough wanted to watch Wimbledon from the comforts of his own front room. You could say the ITF aced it.
Yeah, good evening. You are listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. I'm Jamie O'Hara and I'm joined by Jason Cundy. We're going to hear from Oasis superstar Noel Gallagher, who's been on the station today. We've got a midnight triv we need your help with. But first, it is all about Alexander Isak. He's issued a bombshell statement this evening, what seems to be a last-ditch attempt to leave Newcastle. It reads, the last bottom paragraphs, the reality is promises were made and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is the best interest of everyone, not just myself. He put that on his Instagram story earlier on tonight. Newcastle fans can have your say. What is the solution? It's a mess. It really is. 03 717 22 3344. Let's go to Derek. He's a Newcastle fan. Right, Del.
Del boy. Del.
Derek.
Del boy.
Derek. Well, we'll move on. Can we go to Idris, a Liverpool fan? Idris.
Yo. All right, guys.
How are you, Idris? You good?
Yeah. Great. Long listener of the show. Big shout out to you and Cundy.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, bud.
And 100% Mo.
Well, he's very
where is
quiet
he?
at the moment. Yeah, he's very quiet, isn't he?
Still waiting for him to congratulate Chelsea on winning the Club World Champions.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll move on.
Yeah. Look, we're obviously talking about Isak. And it's a big talking point again because there's another statement. You obviously want him, right? He's going to make a difference to the club, even though he's been so petulant in the way he's acted.
Yeah, but here it is, guys. This is a relationship role play. Yeah, so hear me out.
Okay,
right?
I like this.
So we've heard about the relationships broken down.
Hold on. Idris, can I be involved in this role play?
Absolutely.
Okay, who am I?
So, Jay, you can be the bloke. So you're Newcastle.
What do you mean the bloke? Oh, I'm Newcastle, right? Thank God for that. Right,
You're
okay.
Newcastle.
I'm Newcastle, right? Okay.
Right.
Who are you?
What's it? Who am I?
Yeah.
No. I'm a bystander. I'm just looking. I'm just.
Who's Jamie? Is Jamie Isak?
Who's Isak then?
Jamie's Isak.
Jamie's Isak.
Right.
I'm Isak, right? You're a bystander.
Right. I'm the by. Or I can. Right. Newcastle fans. The Newcastle fans are the friends of Jason.
Okay.
Right.
I'm Newcastle though, right?
Yeah, you're Newcastle.
You're making this pretty difficult, Idris. Come on, spit it out.
No. Straightforward. So I'll be the new guy. I'm Liverpool, right?
Are you Liverpool now?
I'm Liverpool,
Okay.
right? I'm the new guy, right?
So am I starting this off? Am I Isak? Am I knocking on the door?
So Jay, you're the girlfriend, right?
No, hold on. No. I'm Newcastle.
Yeah, you're the bloke. You're Newcastle.
Oh, right, you're trying to
the
make this
bloke-
like an actual relationship. You're not trying to set up a bit of role play here. This is actually.
Where are you going with this, you
Yeah,
filthy
Where you
pig?
going? Yeah, where's your head going, Idris?
You
Get on with it, will you?
Right. So you're to get up. So the bottom line is, boys, keep it short. The bottom line is, she don't want to know. Isak don't want to know.
So hold on. All right, so I'm the girlfriend, right? So I've got to have a conversation with Jamie, right? Okay.
You're the
Okay.
You're the boyfriend.
Right.
So you
Look,
wanna-
look. I feel like the relationship's come to an end.
Oh, come on, mate.
I've been speaking to someone else.
Hold on.
You know,
Whoa,
I re- I-
whoa. What do you
I really
mean?
like her.
What do you mean?
Um,
Do I know her?
yeah.
Do I know her?
Yeah, you know her.
Who is
know
she?
her.
Who is she?
Well, you don't know her. You don't know her personally, but you know her.
Well, okay.
She's quite famous. She's a big deal.
Is it Linda or is it Melody? Because I know you've.
And
it
you
Joan?
know, look, I feel like I just want to move on. Times
Is it
things
Karen?
have changed.
Not Karen again, is it?
You made some promises about our future, and you haven't delivered.
What haven't I delivered? What promises?
Well, you know, there was certain things that I wanted. I thought that you might offer.
Gosh, I thought I gave them to you a couple of weeks ago. I think you're quite happy, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, not that. Not talking about
Just
that.
not happy enough. And I feel like
okay, who is it?
I've had my head turned.
Who is it? Who is it? I want to know.
A name's Sandra.
Sandra from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Her again.
Sandra.
Yes, I saw her coming around here a couple of weeks ago.
Who's this? Who's this piped
Who's
up
it?
as well?
Is this Sandra?
Sandra.
Yeah. And I'm coming up on Monday to see you.
Yeah.
So,
Hold on. Listen, he's contracted to me, all right? You want to come and see him, you got to go through me first, all right? It's going to cost you money to see him.
You're in denial, Jay.
No, okay, fine. But listen,
Candy, you're in denial.
Just let it go. Just let it go. We had a good run.
We
had a good run.
I've got 3 more years left in this relationship. I can feel it. But you know what? How much are you going to pay?
Don't make me stay for 3 more years. I can't take it anymore.
Let me speak to Sandra.
I can't take it anymore.
Sandra.
Come on out.
Sandra.
Just let me move on.
Yeah.
Sandra.
Nah,
What
it.
are you offering?
Anything you want. 130. I'll be honest with you.
Please, just let me go.
How much are you offering?
120 plus add-ons. There you go.
Do you know what? Deal's done. That's how easy it is. Swore. No, do one, you.
Do you know
See you.
Yeah.
Pack your bags.
Yeah. All right.
Get out of it.
You know what the worst thing is? I feel like I've had this conversation before.
Normally you lose 120, not going there.
We've all have.
Feels quite familiar, this combo.
Not for me. I've never been in that position. No.
Oh, dear.
Right, okay, that's
Idris.
it's done. It's done. The deal's done.
Deal's done. We all move on. Everyone's happy. Let's go. There we go. Job done. It's easy as that. Just get it worked out together. Don't get the lawyers involved.
No, don't. Definitely don't.
It costs you more money, lads. Trust me. Oh, dear. Let's go to Michael, who's a Newcastle fan. Mike?
Right, Mikey.
Hello, boys.
How are you, Mikey?
Right, Mikey.
Do you know what it is, right? Jason will have to sort of like tell you what the crack is with this one, Jamie. He's like Waldorf and Statler from the Muppets.
Go on.
Can you remember the Muppets? Cheers.
I'm working with one every night. Yeah, go on. Come on, yeah, of course I remember the Muppets.
Right, here's the thing, right? Wouldn't life be easier if like contracts were just thrown up like Gaza saying, can my sister have a sunbed?
What? Sister, have a sunbed?
Can you remember when he signed for Spurs? And Gaza was asking and so what do you want? He
Right, he wanted a sunbed, right, put in his house. Okay.
Right,
right,
here's the thing though, right, Jamie. I watched some old footage of Gaza when he played for Spurs.
Mm.
And I've never actually met him.
Why are we talking about Gaza?
I've never seen.
It's not been a great start to this hour, mate.
Sorry, buddies. Listen. The Alexander Isak thing, right? Here's the deal, right? It's nothing to do with Newcastle. It's to do with the Saudis now, because their culture, the few. No, listen, lads.
I'm trying to listen to you, Mike. You're talking garbage.
It's good music, man. It's good music, man.
That's a waffle. Now I've got Muppets in my ear.
Right, listen, honestly, all jokes aside, right?
By the way, it's a tune.
It's to do with the Saudis now.
What do you mean? What's going on? You been out tonight, Mikey?
It's to do.
Mikey, have you been out tonight?
No, Jason. Straight up, right? A couple of weeks ago, Yasser Al-Rumayyan, the head of the PIF, came to Newcastle, right, to straighten all this mess out. And he's basically not going to have his pants pulled down by some player having a hissy fit. And when you listen to Simon Jordan in the afternoon, he's all for it.
He's all for what?
Well, you've signed the contract, mate. That's it.
Mate, honestly, mate, I'm going to let you go because I don't know what you're going at.
Are we?
Is there anything?
Mikey, just give me 1 point, right? You've got 1 point.
Come on,
go.
Mikey.
Right.
Say
Come
it.
on.
Now.
You got 30 seconds, right? You can put 30 seconds on the clock.
Go on.
Mikey. All right, you go. Go.
30 seconds.
Go.
Right. Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara are mint. I'm on the show. And I'm making a proper ass of myself, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely had a few
Love you
beers. Mikey, love you, mate. Go on, get yourself off. Go and have another pint or something. This is totally garbage. Keep your calls coming in. 03717 22 3344.
guest star, Mr. Joel Gray.
You are listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy. You're going to be talking Spurs in a bit, but we are still talking about Alexander Isak, the bombshell statement he's come out with. Said the relationship can't continue at Newcastle. 03717 223344. Let's go to Liam. He's a Newcastle fan. All right, Liam?
All right, Liam.
Hi, boys. You all right?
I'm all right, Liam, mate. Look, this is getting a bit painful for Newcastle fans. I feel for fans because, you know, it's not a nice situation to be in, but something's got to get resolved.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's got to go, lads, to be fair. It's just been, like, it's dragged on for so long as well. Like, it feels like it's been all summer. One thing I will say is I know the club's getting blamed for a lot about not getting a replacement, which, I mean, is frustrating. But ultimately, obviously, they've gone for João Pedro, tried to get Ekitike, Sesko as well. Obviously, there's a similar situation going on with Vista. And I mean, I'm not sure he's an Alexander Isak replacement anyway. He's more of a Callum Wilson replacement, to be honest. But yeah, my head's just spinning with it all. I mean, the thing that I can't get my head around is like the last couple of months. Like if you think back now to kind of what's happened over the last couple of months with, you know, he's been in the kit launch. I know they get done before the summer, but there was lots of interviews with like Swedish media where he obviously was saying how happy he was, how much he loved being in Newcastle, this, that, and the other. Then obviously Elanga signs. And Elanga does a big thing in his interview saying about how he's had numerous phone calls with Isak. And I mean, I'm not being funny. Like, if someone tried to sign to the team I was playing for, I know my mate, you'd obviously say if you were leaving, wouldn't you, make it very clear before they sign?
Yeah.
And then obviously went to Austria for the first part of pre-season, and then it was just like, mic drop, I'm done.
Yeah, but Liverpool come calling, haven't they? Do you know what I mean? Like, they've come calling. And it's turned his head, and it happens. It is what it is. It's I genuinely feel for Newcastle fans. I feel for Isak as well, because I understand that you get one career, and I do, and I feel like. But it's just a really poor situation that it's turned into now, and the only way out, which I think is just best for everyone, is just to take it on the chin and say, you know what, we're bigger than Isak. We're going to sell him, and we're going to move on. The problem you've got, and this is a big problem, this season. Everyone's wanted a striker. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's been in the business for a striker. Yeah. Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea, Man United. You know, this year has been the year that everyone wants a striker, and the 4 or 5 players that you've wanted to get, you haven't been able to get because everyone else has come in for them. So. And they're sitting there now, Newcastle, with Alexander Isak thinking, well, we've got the striker that everyone wants. We want to keep him.
On the back of that, I'm going to add to that, right? And Jay's absolutely right. Newcastle, the owners, the club, everyone would have known that Callum Wilson was going to leave, right?
Yeah.
Not to have a replacement for him has absolutely poured petrol onto the bonfire. That is now an absolute mess. So you're now in a situation where one's had to leave because the club decided between the pair of them that's been decided for months. So let me tell you now, that's not happened weeks, right? So not to have irons in fires or your ducks in a row to sort out that striker replacement is absolutely amateur from Newcastle. Yeah. Then to find yourself 6 weeks down the line, the player wants to leave, that you've now got your number one striker, and if he leaves, you've got nothing up front. You had Anthony Gordon play down the middle. So you found yourself in a situation. Newcastle have been culpable in this mess. They have. I know they've tried to get different strikers, but my gosh, this transfer window has been coming for 6 months, and you've known Newcastle about Wilson.
Especially with the Callum Wilson one, which is frustrating, is that regardless, there's lots of talk of whether we offered him a pay-as-you-play and all that kind of stuff, but regardless of whether Wilson was staying, we still needed another striker 100%. With Isak and Wilson. Wilson's 33, 34, whatever he is, and let's be fair, he can't string 2 or 3 games together. So,
but not to have a replacement for him, and not to see further down the road that this could potentially happen. This is what I mentioned about Brighton, right? Brighton have their ducks in a row. They know exactly where they can go. They even have it with managers. Right, we see what happened with De Zerbi, right? They get rid of Potter. They know who they're going to. Potter was poached. They get someone in. Their recruitment, your recruitment at this level has been shambolic, and it really is part of the problem, I'm afraid.
Yeah, and I think with this whole thing with the Newcastle fans slating Paul Mitchell, which to be fair, a lot of it I agree with. One of the things he said was about how the transfer policy wasn't fit for purpose. Well, I mean, he was right.
But this is a football club.
Like
I
you
mean,
say,
do you
with
not
Brighton
think?
and Bournemouth and clubs like that, they know a player's going to go. They sell
How is this
high,
not?
and then
How
then
is this not in
sign low.
place? How is there not
I
the
know.
structure above to help Eddie Howe? Eddie Howe must be. He's not stupid. He's been in football as long as he's been able to walk. Right? He knows how the game is played. He knows exactly. He's been a player, so he understands this situation. He's now on the other side of the fence. He's now got to be a manager and got to work for the Newcastle work for the club in a different way. He's not. He knows what's going on. He's not blind. He'll know that the Newcastle are dropping balls at the minute as well. That needs to be
And I
said.
also think that, like, in a year's time from now, or after the World Cup, obviously the England job's going to come calling again. Do you not think that maybe he'll look at it and go, well, obviously I don't want this to happen, but do you not think he'll go, right, I've won him a trophy?
Said this last week. If he's not being supported, if he's
no, it'd be different if he was given the tools, but he's doing a ridiculous job, not being helped almost. It's like, has he taken it as far as he can with what he's been given? But my last point was just going to be on Isak. Obviously, a lot of talk about his agent and stuff like that, but do you not think that it's weird timing with how he's done it? Like, after Arsenal have got a striker, after other clubs have got a striker, like at the start of the transfer window.
But he probably didn't want to make it public. He's probably said behind closed doors for a while that he wants to go, and he hasn't been let.
This is a long time, wasn't he?
It says in a statement.
Yeah, I think this has been happening behind closed doors for a while. Do you know? He's made it public now. Everyone's got their strikers, so it's made it difficult for Newcastle to get someone else in. That is the issue. Liam, top man, mate. Thanks for your call. Let's go to Daniel. He's a Newcastle fan. Dan?
Danny, what?
Hello, buddy. How are you?
I'm all right, Dan. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks for having me on, gents.
Yeah, look.
Come on, Danny, what?
Just to say, like, I mean, a point I've tuned in just recently, so I don't know if it's been covered at all or previously, but Jamie, I'd say to you, what would Daniel Levy do in this position? I mean, like, for example, Harry Kane, 3 years on his contract.
Yeah.
Daniel Levy turned around and said, you know what? You're not going to Man City.
Yeah.
Tough. You'll stay 2 years and you'll go with 1 year.
Yeah.
And that's how that played out, and that's how it went. They still got the guts of 100 million quid for him.
The problem,
you know what I mean?
the difference with Kane, though, was Daniel Levy had more power because...
Why?
Because Harry Kane was a Tottenham legend, so he couldn't do what Isak's done.
Mate, you know,
it does make a difference because you can't come out and make them statements. You can't come out and act the way you've acted. He's the England captain. You know, he has to be an example. You know, he has to set examples, and you know, he put himself into that long-term deal.
He said he wanted to leave.
I know he did want to leave.
He wanted to leave.
He did want to leave, but he couldn't kick up a fuss and a stink.
He did
Alexander Isak.
We all know it. We all saw it. He kicked up a fuss. The only thing he had a little bit more credibility about him than Alexander Isak is doing right now.
Eventually, he got his move, didn't he?
Can't compare the two.
But, yeah,
you can't, Danny. You can't.
Of course you can. Why not? Because one's Swedish and one's English.
No, because one of them didn't release a statement like this. One of them did not put themselves in a position where publicly.
Did Harry Kane not actually put in a formal transfer request?
Well, if he did,
I'm pretty sure he did.
Well, if he did,
he hasn't actually even done that.
But you're talking. Okay. What are you trying to say then? What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that the point was to how would Daniel Levy deal with it?
No, but okay.
What's the difference between?
Well, we're trying to tell you, but you're not accepting it. You're not accepting our answer. So I'm now going to throw it back at you. You tell me what you think the difference is.
There isn't any difference, is there? The point is.
No, I'm sorry.
Harry Kane swallowed it. Harry Kane was told unceremoniously, you will stay for 2 more years, or because you've got a contract.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying that Newcastle and the owners need to do with Isak. It may not play out that way, of course, but that's.
You're not taking on board. You're not taking on board. You're living in fantasy world, because
why?
Because you're trying to say that the same. Are you trying to say they're identical?
So what's the difference? Explain to me.
Harry Kane's got a different attitude.
World-class strikers.
Harry Kane has got a different attitude to Alexander Isak in the way he dealt with it, the way he handled the situation.
He was Spurs captain. He was academy player.
Daniel Levy was the individual that dictated how that played out.
Okay, let's put Daniel. Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. I'm for the sake of this argument. Here's I think where you're going. I'm now going to parachute Daniel Levy at Newcastle, right?
Yeah.
Right now. How do you think it's going to play out?
I would suggest, based on the way it's playing, he'd probably tell him to stay. He'd probably say, you know...
Right. I'm now going to remind you what come out about 2.5 hours ago of a statement. You can't stop a player put a statement out just because Daniel Levy decides he wants to keep you. Newcastle clearly don't want to sell him, but this come out. Daniel Levy's going to make no difference if he's Newcastle. Jamie's right. The fact that Harry Kane was a Spurs legend, come through the academy, he's one of their own, he was club captain, he was England captain, his status is different. Alexander Isak does not support Newcastle. He grew up in Sweden.
To leave.
Pardon?
Regardless of the status and how much of a hero you might be, they both made it very clear they want to leave.
Yeah, I don't know what part of this you can't grasp. I don't know.
I don't know what you can't grasp.
No, but I know. But you're trying to tell me that they're identical, aren't you?
No, I'm not saying identical, but the point is, if you're the owner and you've got somebody under a 3-year contract, then therefore that's the
Harry Kane
really?
might have said he wanted to leave, but he was prepared to stay and play for Tottenham and score goals and carry on. Yeah. The statement that's come out tonight.
At the time, though,
I know, but Alexander Isak, he don't want to do that. He don't want to be there. He said he's out. He's done. He's
Harry
finished.
Kane didn't want to go there, but he was told by.
Can't make someone do what they don't want to do, Danny.
Well, you made Harry Kane do that, didn't you?
Can't make someone do it.
You didn't make him do anything.
You can't have a.
It didn't get done. The deal didn't get done. He stayed at Tottenham and he carried on.
He sucked it up. Isak's not sucking it up.
But Isak ain't sucking it up. He's done. He wants out. He's done. He's come out and said that's it.
You can't compare the two. You can't.
Really?
No, you can't.
So what do you want us to say? If you were okay, let me ask you this, Danny.
I'm telling you. I'm explaining to you how that plays out.
Yeah, but
as a Newcastle fan, I want him to go now. I think we all want him to go. It's done. I get that. But what I would say is, can you not see the similarities between that? And that,
similar but so different.
Yes, I understand it's a similar. I get it, but it's two different players, two different mindsets, two different attitudes.
Both wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one was prepared to stay and play for Tottenham and score goals and carry on being an example.
Levy, tough, you're staying. That's it.
Well, you know what? That might be the stance that Newcastle take, right? And if Newcastle take that stance, good luck getting the best out of Alexander Isak, because he ain't Harry Kane.
Right here, right now, that ain't happening.
He ain't Harry Kane. No. He ain't coming back into that team, and he's just going to be happy and landy, and we're just going to crack on, and I'll just carry on scoring goals. No chance. Ain't happening.
What you saying? 100% it can't happen. I mean, imagine what it's going to be like.
I don't think it can happen.
I don't think it can. I agree with you.
I don't think it can happen.
But is there wiggle room? Is there any wiggle room for us?
You've always got to give yourself wiggle room.
You might have told you today, don't ever go 100%.
You never go 100%.
99.9. Always do 99.9. Never go 100%. Because once you're 100%, there's no wiggle room.
Whoever they've got after the transfer window shuts, and if Alexander Isak is there and Eddie Howe brings him off the bench and he bends one in the top corner.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Danny Boy will be jumping
and he goes over and kisses the badge. I'm back. It'll all be forgotten, but look, he wants to move. I think they just need to make it happen. I don't know how they make it happen, but it's a mess. A reminder, talkSPORT have live and exclusive commentary of the game between Newcastle and Liverpool Monday night. It's unbelievable.
You and I are taking calls straight after.
Oh, we are taking calls. Alexander Isak scores a winner. Who for, though? We don't know.
In front of Slot. Giving it the big licks.
Oh, dear. You are listening to the Sports Bar talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus. We go and Red Dog.
tell him what we just talked about.
Oh, I love
Tell him what we just talked about.
Our combos in a break are amazing. I wish people could listen to it all the time. You are listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. You're going to be going through tomorrow's back pages very soon. But we're going to continue taking calls as well. 03717 223344. But first, the NFL returns to Wembley in October. Los Angeles Rams take on Jacksonville Jaguars with a huge competition to win VIP tickets. That's right, we're giving you the chance to win 6 seats in a private box at Wembley Stadium with full hospitality plus $5,000 spending money. Here's how to enter.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission or enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by 25th August at 11 p.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. See talksport.com for terms and conditions.
Right, we've got to talk about the Alexander Isak situation. It has been a bombshell statement tonight from him on his Instagram or social media pages. You can have your say on it, 03717 223344. Let's go to Jack. He's a Newcastle fan. All right, Jack?
Jackie boy.
Hello?
All right, Jack?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we've got you, mate. Go on.
Oh, great to talk to you. No, I just think Isaac, I don't know who you think he is, really. I think he's getting a bit big for his boots. I think he's going to really regret this. He's going to end up either at Saudi. Liverpool aren't going to pay the money. They're just not coming up with the money. So, oh, come on. Don't do that.
It is one of them, though, isn't it, Jack? You know, it's a kick in the teeth, mate. It is. For Newcastle fans, it's a kick in the teeth. It's your best player.
But it's how we've always had it dealt. We've always... Look at Wissa. He's really wanting us to play for us. We've still got Eddie Howe. That's all that matters.
He can't play up front.
Hey, at the minute, we need him to.
Oh, God. It does really feel like a violin moment for Newcastle. It really does feel like if you was going to play the violin for anyone right now, it is Newcastle.
Let it get done before Monday and let Dan Burn snap him into.
How's that going to help?
Get it done before then.
Oh, you want him to play for Liverpool on Monday?
Yeah, that ain't going to happen, man.
Yeah.
This deal's getting done in the last... I think this deal gets done when Newcastle find a centre forward.
Yeah.
Dan Burn can play up top, can't he?
Good player, Dan Burn.
Plays he? Nuisance value.
Nuisance.
Hold up plays good.
He is hold up.
I'm not quite sure about his mobility up top.
Pacing behind, Mike.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure he's making those runs in behind, is he?
Not sure his right foot's that great either.
No, but he win the flick-ons.
No.
Yeah.
But he's a big boy. He'll give everything he's got.
Just go old school, mate. Play Dan Burn and Anthony Gordon up front. 4-4-2.
Yes.
There's no way.
Little man and big man. Roll back the years. Faustino Asprilla and Ferdinand.
Shearer and
Ferdinand. Who did Asprilla play with?
No.
Come on.
Asprilla play.
Faustino Asprilla. Who did he play with?
Shearer, Janola.
He played. I'm sure.
Janola's that wide though. He would have been.
And they had a great little team, didn't they?
Ferdinand.
I think it was Ferdinand.
Was it Ferdinand?
Philip Albert.
Yeah. Going back to old days.
Yeah, he's a good player, mate. Gary Speed.
Yeah, that's good. That's
good.
good.
It's a shame. It's a shame because he could have been a legend. Now he's just
Steve Watson.
Steve, we throw him in the mix. That's a great shout.
He's a good player.
Warren Barton.
He's a good player.
Was a good player.
Warren Barton was a good player.
Good up and down, wasn't he? Good player, Warren Barton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's in goal?
Was it
Neil Sullivan?
No. What is he with? That's it.
Oh, it was, wasn't it? What was his name?
Where's Conspire when you need him? Remember he booted the advertising board in?
No.
Was it Conspire?
See, that's the passion you need.
No, man.
He scored a goal when he booted the advertising
board. Kevin Keegan moment, didn't we, at Newcastle?
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It's coming. Eddie Howe needs to come out all guns blazing, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'll love it. I'll love it if we beat them. I'll love it.
Malcolm McDonald. What about him?
You roll. How far you go?
Mate, Malcolm McDonald's a good one.
Come on, mate.
That's a good one, mate. Any Newcastle fan listening to this will know Malcolm McDonald. Right?
Yeah.
What about Mickey Quinn?
I don't remember.
Scored so many goals.
Where's Shola Amiobi when you need him?
Another great one.
We've got Dan Burn. That's all we need.
Get Shola back. Play golf with him in the summer. He's still in good nick, mate. I reckon he could do a job.
Do you know he is in good nick?
Yeah, you see him. You were there.
Yeah.
He was in good nick, mate. He was in good form.
Yeah.
He'd do a job up front, wouldn't he?
I guarantee Wissa scores more goals than Isak this season at Newcastle.
Haaland? Did you say Haaland?
Wissa
scores more goals than Isak.
Yeah, this season.
That's because Isak's on the beach for the next 6 months.
Change a radiator in the bottom half of St James's Park.
At Liverpool, be on the beach.
Trying to think more Newcastle.
Right, look, we've got to bring back to talkSPORT's chief football correspondent Alex Crook. There was some news for us because Newcastle have just issued a statement of their own in response to Isak's statement earlier. Crookie?
Yeah, if this wasn't a saga already, it certainly is now. This is Newcastle reacting to that bombshell Instagram post from Alexander Isak, where he talks about broken promises and the loss of trust. The Newcastle statement begins by saying, "We are disappointed to have been alerted to a social media post by Alexander Isak this evening. We are clear in response that Alex remains under contract and that no commitment has ever been made by a club official that he can leave Newcastle United this summer. We want to keep our best players, but we also understand, say Newcastle, that players have their own wishes and we listen to their views. As explained to Alex and his representatives, we must always take into consideration the best interests of Newcastle United, the team, and our supporters in all decisions. And we have been clear that the conditions of a sale this summer have not transpired. We do not foresee those conditions being met. This is a proud football club with proud traditions, and we strive to retain our family feel. Alex remains part of our family and will be welcomed back when he is ready to rejoin his teammates." This is really picking up what I told you at 10 tonight, that Newcastle's stance unchanged despite that Isak statement. He isn't for sale and they're ready to welcome him back into the fold.
Wow.
I tell you what, and Alex, you still, Crookie, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I love the way that, and by the way, it's an excellent, really well written and crafted
that final paragraph.
Yes, but also as well mentioning the fans. That's powerful as well because it's the family. But basically, they've said you're not part of us right now, but you're welcome back. To mention the fans, I think is really smart and clever from them. Mention the supporters.
Well, the fact that they've said that he's part of the family, family, and he'll be welcome back when he's ready to join his team, mate.
They're basically saying that the most important thing is Newcastle United, right, and the supporters, so they're putting them first. Basically, the way I've read it is you're not doing any of that, but we are. And I think that, again, I think that's just driving a wedge, but I think it's a beautifully crafted message, actually. And what more can they do?
They don't want to get rid of him. They don't want him to go. Simple as that.
I know, but come on. It's like, it does feel like a marriage where, someone's saying, look, come on, please love me. Come on, come back and love me.
Do you think it's a bit weak?
No, I don't know what more Newcastle can do. And they're under pressure to release a statement based on the back of what Isak's written. I agree with the previous call. It's
Crookie. I asked you that question earlier on about whether he's at Newcastle. Him playing? Do you think that's still is it? Do you think he's going to be at Newcastle and play?
I think he'll stay. I really do. I think they're gonna hold firm here. I think they can turn around to him with a clear conscience and say, look, we've tried to replace you. They tried really hard for Hugo Ekitike, and then Liverpool came in and stole him away. They tried even harder for Benjamin Šeško. They were really aggressive in their pursuit of him. He's ended up at Manchester United. And I think they will turn around to him and say, look, there isn't a replacement out there. You're under contract. You're our player. We're not going to sell you.
Factually, they're right. You can't get away from it. Factually, they're 100% right.
And also, Jason and Jamie, it's a World Cup year. Alexander Isak has the same ambitions as any other footballer. He wants to be playing at the World Cup. He wants to be the main man for Sweden. Yeah. He can't do that.
He wants to be the main man for Liverpool.
But he can't do that if he's sat in the reserves. So come September the 1st, if he's not...
I don't know who else they got. No disrespect. Who else have they got? I mean, it's not like they got Haaland waiting around the corner and ex-Alan.
He could go on loan to Dorking Wanderers, mate, and still probably end up playing in the World Cup.
I'm being a bit facetious, but yeah.
you two are brutal. But listen, I agree with you, Jason. I think it's a good statement from Newcastle, bearing in mind, as I told you a couple of hours ago, they weren't prepared for this from Alexander Isak tonight. They didn't know his was coming out. They've reacted really quickly, and I think they've got the tone right. I think they've got
the tone right.
Listen, they're a fantastic football club. You can't get away from it. It's just a shame that a bigger football club in Liverpool wants to take their best player, and they've made it damn well sure that
so here's the next question, right? So Liverpool are following this closely, as we all are. What's their next move then? Because
we've got to go 130 million.
Well, maybe Newcastle are playing an absolute blinder here, right? And saying, look, cough up, or we're
keeping him. We don't want him to go.
Yeah,
we don't need to sell him.
What do Liverpool do now? 130 plus add-ons. Just added 10 million during the show, Jay. We're not very good businessmen, are we?
They're not going to go that high. And what I've always been under the impression they had that obviously initial bid rejected. I do think that was closer to 120 million than 110, by the way, when you take into account the add-on. So they're willing to pay a British record fee. They've made that clear. But what they don't want to do, Liverpool, is get into this cycle where they make a number of bids that get rejected and it becomes a bit of a circus. So I still think they only bid again if Newcastle soften their stance. At the moment, that isn't going to happen.
Liverpool haven't come out of this particularly great either, have they? Do you know what I mean? It's like you've made a bid. How bad do you want the player? You knew the price. Newcastle set it. Everyone knew 150.
I know, mate, but it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, of course it does. But we got to this stage now.
Spurs tried to sign Morgan Gibbs-White and paid his release clause and still didn't sign him.
Yeah, I know, but they went back and got a new contract, right? Isak, imagine that if Isak signs a new contract.
Yeah, he signed a new deal, mate.
I don't see that happening.
I don't know what the answer is, though, because he's got 3 years left. So if he does stay, next year he's got 2 years left. Right?
Hold on a second.
He's gonna have to. He will have to sign a new deal.
Hold on, let me work that one out.
He'll have to sign a new deal. He'll have to sign a new deal.
The release clause.
He'll have to sign a new deal. He'll have to, because he ain't going to stay on that money, and he ain't going to play for Newcastle on what he's on. So if they don't sell him, he's going to have to sign a new deal.
That'd be outstanding stuff.
Yeah. Well, look, maybe Newcastle are saying to them, we are a big deal. We ain't having it. You're staying.
$400,000 a week.
Crookie, top man, mate. See you later.
Cheers, Crookie.
Cheers, boys.
All right. Another reminder, talkSPORT live on exclusive commentary. That game between Newcastle and Liverpool on Monday night. Keep your calls coming in. We've got
amazing.
Going to have to continue taking them. 03717 22 33 44. into the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. You're going to be joined by Tim Vickery, who's going to tell us about how good Esteval is for Chelsea. But got to take more Newcastle fans after that statement from your club. 03 717 22 3344. Let's go to Derek. He's a Newcastle fan. All right, Del?
Good evening.
Right, Del.
I think everybody should bear this in mind. Liverpool Football Club, Isak and his agent, and indeed Eddie Howe, have absolutely no say in the future of Isak. Let's be clear about this. There's only one decision maker in the room, and that's in Riyadh. And they are, in my opinion, particularly after that statement that you read out there, I think they're absolutely determined. They're not going to be pushed around by the cartel. They're not having it. If Isak will not sign a new contract...
Okay, but he don't want to play for you.
Well,
so you've got an asset that you can't use. You don't want to be there. So you can say he's got all the power, but he hasn't.
You're dealing with a different beast here. This is the Saudi connection.
It happens all the time, mate. You can talk about Saudi or whatever. There's powerful people in football for 50 years. Players, this happens. Players will. He can turn around and say, "All right, don't sell me," and I'm just gonna walk around.
Well,
I don't want to be involved.
Yeah, well, what you've got to accept is that these people, I'm repeating myself, but these people are not going to be pushed around by Liverpool Football Club. They've created this monster, this controversy. They've put in a low ball figure, and they're sitting there watching the club destroy itself from within. And they're thinking that they're going to get Isak for the price they want to pay. It's not going to happen.
Right, Derek, let me ask you this, right? Let's say, for the sake of this conversation, you're 100% right, okay? How does this play out over the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, in your eyes?
It plays out very simply. Isak has got to accept the fact that he's not leaving the club. Now, if he decides that he's not going to play for them, and he decides that he is simply going to sit there on a stool somewhere else, then Newcastle United will not pay him any money.
Well, I mean, there are.
Well,
and there are ways.
But when the Riyadh people get to go work with the lawyers on a player,
okay, but he can turn up to training and he can just walk about and be like, I don't want to.
Do you know what'll happen? I'll tell you what'll happen. He's going to get a back injury. I'm telling you now, he's going to get a back. You watch, right? You try and prove he ain't got a back injury. You try and prove he hasn't got a niggle. You try and prove he hasn't got a nerve problem, right? Trust me, the cards, they got all the cards stacked in their favour because of the contract. But I'm telling you now, if a player wants to pull a fast one and he wants to say he's got a back injury and he has that back injury 6, 7, 8 months, nothing Newcastle can do. Nothing.
Well, his credibility will come under.
No, but I've just asked you how you see this playing out, right? And you've told me.
I'm telling you.
But I'm telling you how. I've just come up with the conundrum that to counteract what you've said. All right. So
let me ask you a question.
Go on.
Let me ask you a question. Where is Liverpool Football Club in this equation? What are they doing? Are they sitting there waiting for Newcastle's owners to throw up their hand and say, "Rid me of this troublesome priest"?
No, but Derek, isn't it worth now? Because saving face. Where does it really get you? I remember, right, when Aston Villa done something similar with Jack Grealish, right? And I think it was Jack Grealish. I didn't know who wasn't Jack Grealish. Who was the player? I was going to go less. Anyway, the point remains that the club dug their heels in, and eventually he left for less money than they originally offered. Right, the player. I can't remember who it was. Someone right. But digging your heels in proves what? What does it prove to you? What does it prove to them? What does it prove to the football world? No one cares.
Well, you've asked a question. I'll answer it. These owners have watched their club being pushed around ever since they bought it. They've been tied hand and foot with all these regulations on spending. They're watching the cartel bully their way through the...
Who's the cartel? Sorry, you said that a couple of times. Who's the cartel?
Well, the cartel is... Look, anybody would know who the cartel is.
Explain to us.
Man U, it's Man City, it's Arsenal, it's all the usual
Chelsea? Chelsea, the cartel?
Oh, of course they're in there. They're probably the
make sure we heard those big dogs want to be part of the cartel. Want to be in there, Del boy.
these people are absolutely adamant that this club that they own is eventually going to be top dog. And make no mistake.
But they're not running it like a top dog. They're running it. No.
At the moment, they're not.
No, Derek, come on. The way they're running the club. Who is in charge of transfers? Who is in charge?
I agree with you totally on that one.
No, but
so if you don't act like a top dog, then you're
behaving like amateurs at times.
Yeah, it's amateur hour from you lot.
You've got me there because you're dead right. There's been an absolute bloody shambles, but that shambles doesn't change the fact that these people are not going to sell Isak to Liverpool Football Club. And make no mistake, in a couple of weeks' time, I'd love to come back on and say I was right.
No, Dale, listen, come back on. It's been a great call. You know, no one knows how this is going to play out, right? But I'm just talking from my experience, right, and Jay's experience, because you know, it's well and good telling Isak and forcing Isak to toe the line, but if he wants to dig his heels in, he's getting paid £120,000 a week, right? He's getting a thick end of £500,000 a month, and he can have a back injury, right? And that back injury might improve in January, and then what? The same scenario is going to come when the transfer window opens.
You'd like to think that's not going to I As a Newcastle fan, I think you're praying that doesn't happen, that he does accept it, and he goes, you know what, I've accepted it, I've tried. You know, they want to welcome me back in open arms, and I'm going to have to take this one on the chin. And
it's going to be, it's one of those, it's a popcorn moment, this one, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't it?
It's crazy. It really is. And we're talking about one of the best players in Europe. That's why it's such a big story.
Yes,
it's a massive, massive story.